Albany, $208 million. That's what 43 of New York's 57 counties outside New York City project they'll be able to save next year through 389 projects that will share or consolidate services among localities, according to an analysis presented this week at SUNY's Rockefeller Institute of Government. Story continued below. Gov. Andrew Cuomo, a Democrat, pushed for a program that forced counties and the municipalities they contain to develop a shared services plan. Many grumbled, and some put off the entire exercise until next year. Lt. Gov. Kathy Hochul told a roomful of local government geeks and officials that the program was a success, and reiterated that the coming state budget would include money to match the savings. In this short time frame, when people said it couldn't be done, $200 million in savings have been identified, Hochul said. $200 million less that has to be levied on the taxpayers of the state of New York. I think that's incredible. I think that deserves a round of applause. But does it, really? Of the overall figure, $128 million comes from a single proposal in Nassau County to reformulate the way the city of Long Beach handles its sewage. Effluent in the South Shore metropolis is currently treated by a city plant and discharged into Reynolds Channel, causing nitrogen buildup that has disrupted the area's natural ecosystem. According to Long Beach City Manager Jack Schneerman, the plan calls for Long Beach's plant to be converted into a pumping station. Raw sewage is to be piped to Nassau County's Bay Park treatment plant, which has excess capacity. The outflows from that plant will then be piped through a century-old aqueduct to an outflow pipe further out in the Atlantic Ocean. It's a multi-year project that will have a regionally significant environmental and economic impact, as well as, obviously, being a tremendous cost savings to taxpayers, Schneerman told Politico. The state awarded a $4.5 million grant for the project, but the rest of its $50 million price tag hasn't been covered. The effort will take years before it is complete, Schneerman said, and the $128 million savings figure was over a 7-year period. Still, Nassau County booked the eventual savings on operations costs in its submission to the state this year. As such, its $130 million proposal dwarfed every other participating county. Broome County came in second with a proposed $20.3 million plan. County officials interviewed by Politico and participants in Tuesday's conference were warned by Rockefeller Institute President Jim Malotras, a former Cuomo aide, that there is wide variation among the counties in how they presented their plans and how detailed the methodologies were in determining their savings. Subtracting the Long Beach project, Cuomo's effort yielded $80 million in projected savings. That's 0.05% of the state's roughly $160 billion budget. Or 0.3% savings based on the $26.6 billion that the counties spent in 2015. The true denominator, factoring in the spending of cities, towns, villages and other entities that participated in the shared services plan, is several $billion more. Cuomo promised he would offer state money to match whatever savings localities came up with. The law, adopted as part of the budget in April, said municipalities can apply for reimbursement of savings actually and demonstrably realized by the end of next year. According to guidance from the Department of State, one-time savings should reasonably amortized over the life of their benefit. The current state budget does not include any matching money. Cuomo will propose a new budget early next year, but tax collections are lagging behind estimates and the budget will have to bridge a $4 billion deficit. In a speech last month to leaders of the state's business council, the governor continued to pin the blame for the state's high property taxes on overlapping local services. Take any county, you have county government, then you have towns and villages, cities, and everyone has a duplicate of everything else, Cuomo said. We haven't gotten traction until this year. Local government leaders bristle at this scapegoating, but most acknowledged the act of having the meeting prompted productive discussion. The $80 million in savings comes from a range of ideas, according to the Rockefeller Institute's report. Suffolk County proposed a reverse online store, where various municipalities can offer services or equipment that others might use. In Erie County, officials found $4.5 million in savings from sharing property tax processing and animal control officers. But these are hardly the big bucks, Cuomo describes. Erie County Executive Mark Pulankars recently told Politico. We've done numerous shared service agreements in the past. You're kind of cutting through the bone now, he said, suggesting Cuomo look at school districts, which account for more than half the normal tax bill, or state-mandated programs that drive county costs. I don't think that's a conversation that Albany even wants to broach.